Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Honest to Pod with me, Ashton McAllister.
And me, Matthew Ali.
Ooh, a crookie Matt Ali today.
I know it's going to be really hard to speak a lot, so I'm so sorry.
I'm lucky I have lots of energy from all the sugar I had last night, all the Coke. I'm like, "Wah."
All the Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Ah.
Coca-Cola.
I can't believe you just said that. Told everyone about your weekend habits.
No. Coca-Cola. I didn't go out drink. I went out last night, but I didn't drink, and I stupidly just had a pint of Coke for every pint that everybody else had, and just felt so sick.
It's too much sugar. You need to have soda water.
That's what I used to have when I gave up alcohol for a year. I had soda water, but I also remember the first night I went drinking. That time I had like nothing but lemonade. Yeah, so soda water is the way forward.
They should start serving tea and coffees in clubs.
They should
Maybe.
go up and ask for an
The mug.
ice latte, dancing with the mug.
Yeah.
So yeah, another episode. Last time was 2 weeks ago. Last Monday I was traveling, so I couldn't record, and then you're pretty busy the rest of the week with rugby and other stuff. So
You never asked.
I just assumed.
I was really busy this week, I'll be honest.
There we go.
But it was a bit rubbish. I'm not really a midweek drinker, but I've drank Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and yesterday. Oh my God. That's why my throat is like this. It's ridiculous. I drank far too much this week.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good. I mean, I've enjoyed this week, but yeah, I need some sleep. I need some sleep so bad.
That's how I felt after London. Like 10 days solid drinking in London, and I had big nights out in London. It wasn't.
I wanted to hot you up. Tell them what you did after you came and recorded the podcast here.
So I left yours about 10 o'clock because we played a couple of games of. Did we play? No, we didn't play cards that night, did we? I came back another night and we played cards.
Yeah, I don't think we played anything.
No. We ordered the game that night for you guys. So we recorded the podcast. Left yours about 9:30, 10. I went into town and had a couple of drinks with my friend Dan. The bar shut at 12. We decided to go to like a little cabaret thing that was open to 3. So we went there, and then after 3 we went to 24-hour casino, and yeah, I got home at 10 o'clock the next morning, I think.
That's ridiculous.
It was mental. And I promised Dave, who I was staying with, I promised him that I'd stay up for something. And I sat on the sofa till about 12 o'clock trying to not sleep. And then, because I had to wait for the delivery of something.
Oh, man.
And then his cleaner arrived, and I went up to the room and I fell asleep. Luckily, she was there to get the delivery. But yeah, I slept for about 2 hours and then got up and went out again, and then went out drinking that night again. It was solid 10 day of drinking. I felt a mess.
Good holiday.
It was good. It was well worth it. Actually, some corrections. In the one last week where I said that Matt and Stu walked down the aisle together, they didn't. They walked down.
You were not paying attention, boy.
They walked down with their mums. They told me, "This is, we love that you focused on our wedding a bit, but you got it all wrong." And I'm like, it was almost like I wasn't there and not paying attention.
You're probably on your phone.
No, I turned my phone off just in case you get the.
You could put it on silent.
Oh, I don't trust my phone. My phone sometimes makes noises on silent.
That's not a thing.
It does. It sometimes makes this really weird beep. It just sounds like it's about to die. It just was one high pitched beep. It's not a noise of an alert or anything. It's just like the phone crying for help. It's like. Anyway, the other thing I got wrong was that they didn't get engaged in July or January. They got engaged previously, but they started their diet in July or January. I thought
that would have made sense, because I said that to go from January to September or whatever it was. Well, October. It's quite a short time, really.
You said that.
A wedding.
I was wrong. I clearly don't know them at all. I don't even know why they asked me to the wedding.
Well, that's why they didn't ask you to be in the wedding.
They're like, oh God, this guy's going to get everything wrong. I was like, what rings? You didn't give me any rings. And what else did I do? After I went to a CrossFit competition last weekend as well.
And even though it was you, like, I'm not going to go because it's like 2 hours away or whatever, once you posted on Instagram all of these men, I understood why it was worth their traveling. Because they were unbelievable.
Well, the only person I posted was my coach, Mickey Walsh.
And he's unbelievable.
Yeah, some people think that.
Whatever.
The competition, the competition was good. From a lot of people don't understand that CrossFit is a sport. So Like one, for example, can you imagine a 100-meter run? In CrossFit, your 100-meter run might be a handstand run because you're running on your hands.
That's impossible.
No, it's not. Maybe not 100 meters, but they had to do, I think it was 10 meters back and forth. And one of the points you couldn't stop halfway through. So you had to go 10 meters, turn on your hands, and then come back. At one point, they had to go 10 meters. They could stop at one side, but they had to carry something. They had to carry a sponge between their feet. Another time, they had to go up a ramp and down some steps. It was mental. Like, it's really good. Plus, it's aesthetically pleasing. Gave me lots of inspiration to come back and hit the gym. And I came back on the Tuesday, and I came back Monday and hit the gym straight away on the Tuesday. And the amount of alcohol sweat that came out of just...
Gross.
It was disgusting. Like, my face was like a tap, like a faucet, just pouring. And I sweat the best of times. I'm sweaty. But it was not good.
Oh. I did not go to the gym this week because I was boozing it up, and that wasn't a great decision. It was not a great decision. 5 bottles of wine on a Tuesday is not the one.
No. On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, you know.
What were you doing on a Tuesday? I had 5 bottles of wine.
Dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about that thing you did on, was it Saturday or Friday?
What did I do?
The artist thing.
Last week Friday.
Yeah.
So my friend Michelle from work, she organizes an event once a month called Draw and Liquor, and each month a new artist is invited to kind of teach a lesson, and each month has a theme. And this month is Black History Month, so that was the theme, and it was like this. You could choose a man or a woman, and they had their hair, and there's like a fist on top of their head, kind of thing, and it was really fun. Yeah. I found it so hard. I liked my picture in the end, actually. Did you see it?
Your picture looked really good. Yeah, I liked it.
But that was not what I intended at all.
What were you intending?
Well, I didn't mean for there to be so much black on the outside. The only real good thing that turned out is I took my time to do the face, and then the others had painted theirs in brown. But I like the way that it looked with just the white face.
Yeah, no, it looked good. Yeah, I think it looked very powerful.
That was really fun. I can't go next month, unfortunately, but I will try and go. So yeah, I feel like I want to do like painting now as well. It was really enjoyable.
That's good.
Therapeutic, like just going through, you know.
It sounds so different.
It was a nice night. Yeah. It's bring your own wine as well, so you can bring your own drink. Get hammered. I didn't get hammered.
Because you had rugby the next day, I guess. So, what is there like a Facebook group, or is there anything that if anybody's listening wants to look at it, can?
On Instagram.
On Instagram, what's the
and
Instagram?
Facebook, actually. There's Facebook like sort of like thing, but in Instagram as well, just Draw and Liquor.
Draw and Liquor. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
And it's the first Friday of every month.
First Friday of every month. Oh, sounds good. And your picture does look good. Maybe you should push a picture on our story and then tag the Instagram account so people can see it.
I'm so bad with Instagram. I wanted to do some stories and stuff, and then I couldn't. I don't know how to do Instagram stories. And then once I did one, I couldn't do more, and I didn't know how to do that.
That's what you done that before. You can do. I don't know why you can only do one.
Because there was like a little plus sign where you can do it, and then it disappeared and never came back for another day. The plus sign. Yeah. Oh. I'll try again. I just find Instagram stories incredibly difficult.
We'll just post it on our Honest to Pod normal post, like a square post on the wall, and then just tag. It seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get into some topics?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll go first. Or do you want to go first? Or do you?
You can go first.
Okay. So today I want to talk about the Asher's Gay Kick hearing by the Supreme Court.
Someone keeps walking outside your front door and you see the shadow just going backwards and forwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so weird. It's quite scary, actually.
Oh, it's probably birds. There's lots of birds.
No, they're human beings.
Oh. I didn't see anybody walk past. Oh.
There is a ghost. You can because you can see your back wall, right? Those blinds. And
yeah. And then that's
And then all you keep seeing is someone going.
Somebody's walking past now.
Yeah.
No, you see, somebody just walked past. You don't see it. Well, I see it. Did you see it in the wall?
Yeah.
Oh.
It keeps happening.
There we go.
Anyway.
Somebody just walked past. Anyway, do you know about Asher's and the Gay Kick? thing.
They refused to make a cake with a slogan on for a gay person.
Yeah. So back in 2014, a guy called Gareth Lee went in. He's a gay rights activist and asked for a cake that said "Support gay marriage" and a picture of Bert and Ernie on it. I think it was going to be used at some equal rights rally because, as I've said once and I'll say again, Northern Ireland does not have same-sex marriage. The only part of the UK that doesn't. So yeah, Asher's is a Christian family-run bakery, and they have a little build a cake feature on their website. And the guy had gone in, and it basically say, "We'll print any message, and you kind of build the cake yourself." It's kind of fun. It was a fun little tool. So the guy does that, takes the money. The guys take the money, and then I think they call him up, or anyway, the next day or a couple of days later, they call him and say, "Look, we can't do this cake because it goes against our religious beliefs." The guy then sued, and he won based on discrimination. And then the Asher's Bakery appealed and took him to the Supreme Court. And the hearing, or the verdict, was made on Wednesday, just past Wednesday the 10th. And the Supreme Court ruled in favour of Asher's Bakery, saying that they don't believe it was homophobic for them to refuse the cake. And that in a time like this, we need to also be aware of religious values and religious beliefs, which is fair. I agree with the ruling based on the fact that it wasn't homophobic.
I agree.
But should they have won? Absolutely not.
Say that again?
I agree that the ruling based on it not being homophobic, it wasn't homophobic. Well,
use the cake, yeah. What were their reasons? Because they said they don't believe in the slogan.
Yeah, they don't believe the messaging goes against their Christian beliefs.
Yeah.
I still don't think they should have won the Supreme Court ruling because.
You agree with it though?
No, I agree that it wasn't homophobic.
So what isn't that the point of the?
No,
appeal?
no. My problem with it is, so they advertise that they'll print any message. They don't say we'll print any message except religious ones. We won't print any messages that go against Christian values. They say they print any message. So if you offer a service that is print any message to the public, regardless of what that message is, you should feel honor fulfilled to do what you're advertising.
But that wasn't the
No. I think they hooked the defense on the wrong thing. Like it wasn't homophobic. Well, it's in some extent it was. I would still say that I don't think they refused to serve a guy who was gay, because apparently this guy goes to this bakery all the time and he gets served these cream buns and chocolate fingers or whatever else he wants. But he was refused the message on the cake based on the message. What are you laughing at?
It's just weird that you just be like cream buns and chocolate. I don't know why I find it funny. Just every week.
Get his little caramel squares and stuff. So yeah, so they serve him any other time, and so it wasn't the fact that he was gay that his order was refused. Stop laughing. So that's fine, but I think that, oh yeah, there's somebody just walked past. I've seen that. There's a
ghost.
So yeah, that's fine, but I've lost my train of thought now. You've put me off. You're laughing. So yeah, I was on a roll there as well. So yeah, I don't disagree that was homophobic because the guy goes there and all the time, but he wanted a message that they decided not to fulfill based on religious beliefs. Part of my argument for this would be just because they're printing the message, they're not being asked to support that message. For example, if somebody was to go in and ask for a Norwich City Football Club cake, we're not asking them to support Norwich City Football Club. We're asking for a cake for our team. Do you know what I mean?
But it would say, like, if the cake had said Norwich City are the best team in the world, then they could refuse it based on the fact that they don't believe that. Not just saying Norwich City Football Club. But
then you could say that to anything. But then if you're offering a service to the public saying we print any message, you should print any message. That's why, for example, newspapers often say the views in this article are not the opinions of the editor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're allowed to caveat out of it. I would also say that what is massively hypocritical of Asher's Bakery in this case is at Halloween, they make Halloween themed cakes. Halloween is a pagan holiday, so paganism and witchcraft and devil worshipping go against Christianity, but they don't refuse mothers whenever they're coming in to get Halloween cakes.
But it is also their right to refuse or not, though, isn't it?
Well, yes, but if you think of it like that, if it's the right to refuse,
but it is also their right.
If it's the right to refuse based on Christian beliefs, then why isolate out the Christian belief against homosexuality? Because then that would make it more homophobic.
They obviously have stronger views against same-sex marriage.
Well, homophobic. I would also go on to say that anyone in today's age, and this is my own personal opinion, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it's just my personal opinion, that anyone today who expresses an opinion against same-sex marriage is homophobic.
No.
I would say yes, and I'll tell you why. Straight people do not have to make cakes for the right to get married. Only gay people do. Here in Northern Ireland, straight people can get married. The idea of marriage being around family is no longer relevant. Straight people can get married one day and divorce the next. It's the idea now that Christians hold on to is that not all Christians, marriage is about the family and having kids. People who are unable to have kids can still get married. Straight people who are unable to have kids get married. It's not as if part of the marriage agreement is you have to have a fertility test. Older people who can no longer get married or who no longer have kids can still get married. It's in today's age to be against same-sex marriage because you're citing religious belief in a book that is so out of date on other aspects like stoning people for working on the Sundays and stuff. You can't, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, you can't pick and choose which religious belief you want to hold on to, because what you're saying is my gut is saying that homosexuality is wrong because the Bible says so, but I love my lobster salad every week because, I don't mind about the shellfish thing because I don't mind that. So it's down to personal taste.
It's difficult with the Bible, I think, because it is open for interpretation. And so it's just, I think that's a cop-out almost, or a way of saying how you can almost pick and choose your beliefs because you interpret it differently, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. I would say that using religious freedom as a basis of refusing to serve same-sex couples or same-sex marriage or whatever is blanketing homophobia.
Do you know, I think I agree with you because I'm trying to think now, like, in what situation would you deny same-sex marriage but not be homophobic? And honestly, I can't think of one because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I also would say that even though the Bible says, I don't know the verse or anything, but the Bible does say that a man cannot marry a man. The Bible also says a man cannot lay with a man. So the fact that you're saying, but it's now illegal to be homophobic. So it's now illegal to not serve somebody based on their sexual orientation. I would say that people who are now holding on to their Christian belief in same-sex marriage or Christian belief in anti-same-sex marriage are holding on to the last thread of homophobia that they can, because like the Bible does say a man cannot lie with a man, but you're okay with that because the law says you have to be. So if the law wasn't there to say that, then what are you saying? You would refuse gay people? Let me know what you guys think if you're listening. Let me know what you think. I know it's so weird. I think it's so, I've heard all sorts of answers from everyone. Gay people say this, straight people say this. It's just insane how much this has divided people's opinion. And there's no right or wrong way. I'm not saying I'm right.
You literally just said you were right and you won.
Yeah, that was to you. But like I said at the very, very start, this is just my opinion on everything. And, as a single gay guy who wants to someday get married to you, Matt, after that lovely proposal last week.
Yay.
But unless things change, we can't get married here in Northern Ireland.
But you've got to wait. You said you haven't got a government at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, no government. Everything's gone pot up. But that's a different topic. Let's get on to yours.
Okay, so I want to talk about, I'd sort of seen this article pop up on BBC News. So in northwest London, there's been a string of attacks, 10 in fact, of sexual assaults on women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically around the same station, and it's been happening since about February.
What station was it? Do you know?
Yeah, I want to say Cricklewood. Cricklewood's the area, and the station is Willesden Green tube station.
I used to live near Willesden Green.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh my god!
You could have been attacked.
I was going to make a really bad joke, but I can't. I used to.
Let's not be like being trying to be powerful and shit.
Yeah, no, let's not. No, let's not idolize sexual assault.
Anyway, so yeah. So there have been some attacks on women, and there's been some advice from the police. Okay, and the advice from, and this is a woman as well. She's Detective Constable Laura Avery. She was like, always stick to well-lit streets. If possible, let someone know when you're coming home and the routes you're taking, and always be alert in your surroundings. So don't use earphones or handheld devices.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a bit of a backlash because some women are saying that advice is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why must a woman or a person change their behavior and what they do based on someone else's motives? And they feel like that advice is victim blaming, basically.
Yeah.
What victim blaming is? I mean, it's in the words, I guess.
Yeah. So you're basically saying that the person who got assaulted because she had headphones in almost brought it on herself because she wasn't more alert to her surroundings, which is insane. Like, it's insane.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. And I remember, this is not new, because I remember when I lived in London, and I don't know when, but I remember there was a campaign of posters about this sort of thing. Sort of like, if something, I can't remember what it was, but like if you're waiting for a bus, don't get your phone out because you're just asking for it to get swiped. And it's like, well, and again, so I remember something of headphones as well. I mean, in theory, the advice is solid. I mean, it's logical to say, yes, if you had headphones in, you'd hear more. But it's not the right message to send, and I don't think it's helpful.
Not at all. Because so like the article says, or like the original article, the headline was, women told don't use headphones after sex attacks. It doesn't say men keep attacking women with headphones. Or like at no point is the man or men mentioned over these women. And I just watched a video before we started recording. There was this MTV Decoder series. Have you ever seen them before?
Oh, is it? You messaged me yesterday about Decoder.
That was something else.
Oh, right, okay.
And I like it. It's really funny. It's quite funny, but it's always talking about like serious things. And it was just saying like, one of the big things that, if you use words like that, you're creating fear in people and saying that they're at fault. Women are at fault for having headphones and not being, knowing their surroundings. It is safe advice to say that everyone should know their surroundings and protect themselves because we're not in a society where we're always safe. Okay. But one of the reasons why people victim blame is because they can't do anything about it. So because you can't do anything about it, it's easier to blame the person and say it was the woman's fault for not having headphones, for having headphones in and not knowing their surrounding, because there's nothing they can do about it because it was a random attack,
Yeah. That sort of advice just says to me, you guys should take better care of yourselves because we can't.
Yeah.
Which isn't the solution. Like if 10 people are getting attacked around a station, one station, then that calls for better stuff to be suited around that station.
Yeah, you'd hope,
And it shouldn't take 10 attacks for it to be that way. It should take 0 attacks. It should take police and other people, governments and local councils to say, actually, this street's shady as fuck because look at the bad lighting, or look how many dark alleys there are, or, I know it sounds weird, but I can't wait till we get to the place where we have cameras in every street. I know there's going to be lots of protests against, privacy and stuff, but the only people who have to worry are people who's breaking the law.
But and also like the wording of this thing should, just in general, especially with sexual assaults and like the way that women are behaving and stuff, the attitudes of men needs to change because they're the ones who are breaking the law, right? And I met this woman at work recently, this week in fact, because she used to live in North West London, and she was actually talking about around the area, which is crazy actually. Then this article came out, and this is what prompted my thoughts about it, because she's starting at my company recently, so I just went to go meet her and we were talking, and she was talking about where she lives and stuff, and where she used to live. And, you know, she's a young woman with blonde hair. She's white. And she said that every time she used to walk home, people used to harass her. And in fact, a lot of people wear headphones to detract from men, you know, calling out to them and the attention that they might get.
Yeah.
And it just crossed my mind. It's crazy that we would never, like, I don't know about you. I don't know how often you get like wolf whistled when you leave stations and stuff.
All the time, girl.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It just doesn't cross my mind that you're constantly being harassed.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting.
And I saw someone in the street literally shouting across the road the other day to a woman as she was crossing, just whistling. And I'm like, one, why do you think that behavior is okay? Do you think that's going to get you anywhere?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about this if you're like, you know, I'm a big black guy walking through London. I feel perfectly fine and like safe and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that that's what you have to go through. And women are being told that they need to change.
It's
situation.
It's crazy.
How horrendous is that? Not okay. And the article should read: men keep attacking women. You know.
Yeah.
There is a sexual predator hanging around this station.
Because what the difference in that headline would be is, I mean, I sort of did this anyway, but North West London, I live there. It can be a bit dodge. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a bit dodge. If I was walking out and I seen a girl walking by herself, I would never go up to her or talk to her just in case she maced me in the face. But I always kind of keep an eye out just in case. You never know. Yeah. If a woman was walking by herself, I'd walk the other side of the road so she wouldn't think I was following her.
Mm.
But I'd kind of, like, I'd walk as far as I could at the same pace as her just to sort of make sure she was all right.
And because as I was reading, there's another thing that says a third of girls in school uniform, are harassed in school uniform. These are school kids.
Disgusting.
1 in 3 girls in the UK have been sexually harassed in public when wearing school uniform. So this is starting at a young age. And there's this movement called Holler Back, and it's about things that you can do, things that we need to change. One is support boys and men to change their attitudes and challenge harassment. Because like this bro society where it's okay to like shout at women from a young age, and girls who are suffering this from like 8, 9, 10 years old, that young, they're used to it already. Mm. And boys and men think it's okay to do that, which is crazy.
Is it mad?
Training for bystanders on how to safely intervene, which is quite like what you're saying almost.
Yeah. Well, sorry, the point I was making earlier on was if the article had been written with a different headline about 10 people getting attacked and not about women wearing headphones, it would have alerted more people who are reading the newspaper and live in that area to be like, oh, I need to be a bit more careful around here.
Exactly. You'd still do the same thing without placing blame on those. Yeah.
And if anything, I would almost dismiss the article under the headphone or women should not wear headphones article, because I think, well, it's not related to me because I'm not a woman. So I don't read the newspaper anyway, but I'd be more inclined to be like, meh.
But for sure, yeah, it needs to be placed. We need to place the blame in the right way, and that wording, although it's small, is quite destructive. And the fact that it's placed, and it's I think it's a common thing, really, isn't it, to say, young woman got drunk and was abused, but actually that's not what happened. Yeah,
but sometimes women bring it on themselves, with their high heels and their short skirts, and do you know what I mean? I mean, they just want to wear. They just want to wear really revealing clothes, and it's their fault that men lurch onto them, and
because men will be men, right? Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Do you know what I mean?
It's horrendous. It's horrendous behavior. I really, honestly, and the more I was just reading it, I was like, this is crazy. And then the women have to go through this.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that people picked up my sarcasm. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was quite interesting, although it doesn't dismiss it, the same thing on the decoder, the MTV decoder thing was, there was like a sort of research as to why people victim blame. And, I was just saying that one of the things is because if you can't help the situation, it's easier to say it was the victim's fault.
Yeah.
Because there's this thing called like the just world theory, which is like this idea that we might think like, oh, the world is just, so if you do something bad, you kind of deserve what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gives this idea that, the world is fair, when in fact, the opposite and scary thought is sometimes bad things just happen. So, there's nothing we can do about it because sometimes people just do bad things.
Yeah.
And it can be random and it can happen whenever. So if we truly believe that, then we just might be scared all the time, because what you're saying is anyone's at risk.
Mm-hmm.
But instead we're saying, no, it was this person's fault, because that would never happen to me because I wouldn't wear my headphones.
Yeah.
Which is,
but I mean,
like self-preservation.
It's such, I mean, I hope this comes out the way I intended to, but a man walking down the street with headphones in is just as likely to get mugged as a woman going, do you know what I mean? And the message isn't that everyone should stop wearing headphones because it makes for a safer environment, which it does.
It does.
Yeah. It's women shouldn't because of this. It's like, there's times when I'm walking down the street in London, and even here actually, to be fair, and if I'm walking past a group of people, I keep my headphones in, but I'll turn the volume down just so I can hear. But
I'm like that with my phone, like, and we were really bad at this. I remember this a couple of years ago, actually. So Adam's phone, was he got a brand new phone, and it was stolen that day because he had his phone in front of him at a crossing. And in London, quite often what happens is people on mopeds will take your phone. He was on the way to my house, to my mum's house. The first thing we did was like, why would you have your phone in your hand?
Yeah.
And he was like, how is it my fault? And we were literally blaming him.
Yeah. Why would you have this? Why would you have your device out in public? Like,
yeah. You should never have it at a crossing. That's your fault. You know, and it's good advice to say in London, people do steal stuff. But I guess it wasn't right or fair of us to be like, this is your fault for having the phone out. And he was literally like, you lot are crazy.
bad people be about, though, isn't it? Like, my sister, she had bought this stuff and she had sat down on a seat, a public seat, put the stuff between her legs, and she was on her phone. Somebody come behind her and took the stuff from below her legs. She didn't notice.
What was it? Like shopping?
Shopping, yeah, like clothes and stuff. She put them between her legs, and then somebody come behind her and took, like, literally just pulled the shopping out from below the seat.
Did she notice when it went, or she looked down and it was gone?
She literally noticed when she looked down, when she went down to get up.
And it wasn't there?
It was gone.
Crazy.
Mental. People are bad. I think common advice to everyone would be just be a bit more aware and be safe. I don't know.
I think, like, in terms of media and even the police, that advice is helpful, but the beginning of it, the structure of the wording just needs to change.
Yes, bad. It is not a woman's fault if she's attacked.
But yeah, it's not at all.
No.
The behavior of men who are actually doing crimes, and that needs to be expressed in the media. Men needs to change in these situations. You know, those, or just people that are breaking the law.
Yeah, totally.
Because they are the criminals.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. And what a bad message for the police to send. What a bad message for the police to send.
Yeah, and they're saying we're just giving helpful advice. It's not the women's fault.
It's not the women's fault. No.
But I just wanted to talk about that because I thought, after I saw that and speaking to this woman at work, I was like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. And I take it for granted because these things don't happen to me often.
No.
Like, I guess as a man, I might be safer. You know, I'm not going to get called in the street. And I noticed there's managers in my restaurants where customers feel it's okay to attack them or even verbally abuse them. And I was like, this never happens to me. But I guess, you know, I'm quite dominant and people try and take advantage.
There was, similar, I guess, but not in a way. If you're leaving a gay club and you put your headphones in, you need to be safe because people will attack people outside gay clubs. Be safe.
That used to be a fear of mine, to be honest. I remember.
That used to be a massive fear of mine. It still sometimes sort of is. Because I would sometimes ghost. Like, I would not say anywhere I'm going. I get to the point where I'm tired. I'm like, I'm off home. And I'll leave by myself. And, you know, I don't tell my friends that I'm leaving just because I don't want to go through the whole hassle of stay for one more. I'm like, no, I know when I want to go. It used to be fear of mine.
But let's just place the blame in the right way.
Yeah. Blame the woman.
Those that are breaking the law.
Blame the woman.
Yeah.
Blame the woman.
Story is.
Yeah. Let's blame the woman for everything. Not really.
It's just not their fault. Anyway, that's it for me.
That's it for me. Seems like we've lost Matthew, everybody. Good timing, I guess. Well, not good timing. It's never good to lose your co-host, but it could be better time. Could have been worse timing if you'd lost him halfway through his story. So I'll just close. He might come back in again in a minute, so you might hear a ding. But I'll just close it down. So thank you very much for listening. Please make sure you go on and check out our social media. It's Honest Pod on all our platforms. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Share. Oh, there he is. Welcome back, Matt.
Hi.
Hey, I was just in the middle of closing off the podcast.
Oh, I don't know what you're saying.
I was like, oh yeah, just make sure you. So we'll start again. Now you're back.
Sorry, my internet fucked up.
Thanks everybody for listening. That's been another good episode of Honest Pod. Very empowering, this episode.
It was super powerful.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us on our social handles, which are Honest Pod across the board. Make sure you go on to Apple iTunes and leave a little review. There's no reviews this week to read out, sadly. So our listeners are letting us down.
I think we're letting them down.
You think we're letting them down?
I
thought last week's episode was brilliant.
I actually really enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. But I wonder, maybe should we look at some of the insights, actually? It might be interesting. Well, it seems like we're quite a worldwide little podcast going on. See that?
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, here we got one person in South Africa listening. Thank you, that one person. One person in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Crazy.
Two people in Spain. 3 in Japan. 3 in Italy.
Look at this.
Canada. Zimbabwe.
What?
Yeah.
How is this possible?
We're massive in Zimbabwe. Ireland. The Netherlands, Australia, New Zealand.
That's unbelievable.
And these are unique people, so the numbers you're seeing here are people, if that makes sense.
That's incredible.
And then United Kingdom, United States, New Zealand, Australia. Yeah, we've done that. It's good, isn't it? And also then, look, there's a little map. It also then tells us what devices are the most popular. So a lot of people listen to Apple Podcast. So 54% of our listeners listen to Apple Podcast. But yeah, it's so hard to get these bitches to give us a review.
Fair enough.
Such good insights. The best. Obviously, we're very grateful to everyone who listens. Yeah. But make sure you, like I said, follow us on social, leave us reviews, and have a great week, everyone.
I hope you have a good week, actually.
Oh, you too, Matthew.
Oh, you got to go to work, which is awful.
I have to work today, yeah.
I'm going to soothe my throat.
Okay. I'm so jealous. I'm going to drive out to my favourite little coffee shop and get a coffee and then go to work.
Your car tyre.
Oh, don't. What a palaver. It's almost cheaper just to walk everywhere. But it's nice and sunny today, so I'm going to drive down to the beach, get a coffee, have a little walk on the beach, and then go to work.
That sounds like an awful day.
It sounds amazing.
Okay. Anyways, well, I'll leave you to it.
Toodles.
Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.